Have you got any spare tickets to Chiefs games? The three of us would love to come and join you.
You're milking this for all you've got. You want a new wardrobe, you want tickets to the Chiefs game. And you did get 2 from 2, so I am a man of my word. You can have your 2 cans of Coke.
Oh,
Well, I mean, as a very, very capable referee, in fact, of both of you, sitting next to some of the Bay's best referees. Well, sitting next to some referees, right?
Some referees. If we were any good, we wouldn't be sitting here. Tūtaua mai I runga, tūtaua mai I raro, tūtaua mai I waho, tūtaua mai I roto, kia tau ai te mauritu, te mauri ora, ki te katoa haumi e hui e, tai ki e. Tēnā koutou katoa e te whānau whutupōro, nau mai haere mai ki Bay Rugby Boil Up Podcast, this Thursday, the 4th of June, 2026. Ko Pāteriki Rei, tōku ingoa. I am one of your hosts, tēnā kōrua Gags, tēnā kōrua Tim. No mai hoki mai anō, welcome back.
Good to be back, mate. Been an awesome week. Some good footy out there around our base, so really good to be back. How's your week, Tim?
always starts well with a 3-day weekend, Gags.
Oh,
so
complain.
That was a bonus.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, King Charles, for the extra day off.
Exactly.
Very nice.
Bit of R&R, some good footy over the weekend. Yeah, glad to be back.
Awesome, mate.
Yeah. Well, we will welcome you to our episode of this podcast. But like always, these things don't just happen. We need to thank our sponsors, and so let's get right into that, shall we?
I'll go, eh? DDL Goodrick Contracting is proud to support the Bay Rugby Boil Up, local Gecko Productions, and the communities that make Bay of Plenty Rugby special. Based here in Rotorua, they combine more than 35 years of industry experience with a skilled team of over 50 local staff to deliver complex infrastructure projects with certainty.
From civil construction, drainage and drilling through to subdivisions, concrete, asphalt and three waters infrastructure, they provide practical, reliable solutions from first cut to final completion. With extensive knowledge of the region's unique ground conditions, including geothermal terrain and pumice soils, DDL Goodrick is trusted to deliver quality outcomes that stand the test of time.
Yeah, they are committed to building strong infrastructure, supporting local communities and backing the grassroots rugby that brings people together, as well as supporting us for all things Bay of Plenty Rugby and supporting us here at the Bay Rugby Boil Up Podcast.
Well done, Gags. Thanks very much. Let's get right into what's come out on tonight's show.
Yeah, as always, another action-packed show. We're going to go through all of the fixtures from last week. The King's birthday, so a couple of games that weren't played, but there's a lot of footy that was still happening around the Bay. We'll, of course, have 10 in the bin. Club Legend of the Week will come up as well. A really, really lovely lady that we'll be talking about tonight. We'll have our Moment of the Week as well. One of the superstars from the call on Saturday, Pat, that you and I did. And then, of course, the upcoming fixtures as well before we head off for another break.
All right, so let's waste no time. Let's get right into reviewing last week's fixtures, starting with our Bay-wide Premier Men.
Yeah, fantastic game, that one. The Mount were very, very clinical, and I thought Whakarewa were good, especially in that second half. But the Mount have just got a really good roll on at the moment. But of course, you can see there, Tauranga Sports just too sharp for Opotiki. Opotiki, obviously, with the win the week prior, they still came into that game ready to go, but Tauranga just so well drilled. And of course, a really good win there for Greerton over the Pirates at Greerton Park as well.
Tim, you were at Opotiki on the weekend. How was your travels?
Had the pleasure of being in Opotiki on the weekend. It was a great day, perfect day. Crowd looked a picture. There was a good crowd of people there, good support for the Opotiki club. They came out firing, Opotiki, and were really hard on attack in the first few minutes. Unfortunately for them, 3 drop passes, 3 tries to Tauranga Sports. They were a slick outfit. Got to take your hats off to them. They look really sharp. Opotiki didn't give up. The score doesn't reflect the effort that the Opotiki guys put in. They didn't give up all day, so that was good to see.
See that Raptors club at the moment is just fizzing. Big win in the Premiers, big win in the developments, and they even scraped in over the Mount and the Colts as well. So, it's hard when you've got that many talented players running around your paddocks. But hey, hats off to Opotiki. They'll be back.
Yeah, they've certainly got some things ticking over in the background. 50-31, Greerton over to Puki Sports. It was a bit of a surprise when I read that score.
Well, I didn't expect it to be that high scoring game. That's 80 odd points. So a good game to go and watch if you were down and around the Greerton area.
Greaton's first win over the Pirates since beginning of 2024. And I know that BMAC and the coaching crew there were pretty satisfied to put 50 on them, even though they weren't as satisfied letting in 31.
Yeah, congratulations, BMAC, on that win. I think we've got some highlights coming up.
Yep, got some highlights here of the Mount Maunganui Marlins versus Whakarewarewa game.
Oh yeah, so this is the first try of the game, and you can see here some little stepping coming back on the inside, and then you just have a look here, little pick and goes. There's a couple of snaffles before they finally get over.
Yeah, really hard to defend the Mount structure there. You'll see Vero Ali going short here. Watch him on the blind side. He sits there and has a little bit of a breather while everybody else is trying to have a go. All the defence gets pushed over towards the open side. Vero sits up and says, "Hey, there's no one defending on the blind side here." Just picks it up and falls over. Try time.
Yeah, he's my player of the match out of that game.
He was really good. Yeah.
Just look at here, Jai Knight carrying. He did that all day and nice and horizontal to the ground. You'll be salivating over watching this young kid go around.
But if you see, I just mentioned the structure, but if you watch the structure, they really work the middle of the field, and then it just creates holes out the outside. You just don't have enough defenders when they're playing like that.
Yeah, they did that very well, right? They sucked in the Whakarewarewa defence.
Especially in that first half, you know, the Marlins really knew what they were doing, and they worked it perfectly, and then they just had space to burn on the outside.
And there you can see here, Profit with 4, so he had to pay the drinks on Saturday night. Parkinson dotted down, Curtis 4 from 4, and Spicer 1 from 1.
Yeah, don't forget Jai Moore, he got 2 as well. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on, I think.
Yeah, and we saw Vero Ali's try, and Windsor 1 from 3 off the tee. Okay, looking at the table, well, Tauranga Sports a long way out in front, 7 from 7 with 6 bonus points. Marlins, Te Puke and Greaton make up the top 4, and then Te Puna, Portaki and Whakarewarewa round out the bottom 7.
The Premiers is actually starting to spread out. You'll see in the devals that there's a really close table, but here in the Premiers it's starting to spread out quite a bit at the moment. So yeah, those Tauranga boys, as I say, just too sharp.
Too sharp. Okay, rolling through to the development scores. We had the pleasure of calling this one 40-12. The Marlins got up. The Gappies development side humming along 84-14. And Te Puke 19-15 over Greaton. That is a surprise to me, that final score.
Especially after the first round game, I know the Greaton boys were gutted and they lost it on the hooter.
Yep.
But look, they'll pick themselves up. They'll be back, no doubt.
Yep.
Again, Tauranga Sports, they were slick. I understand Gappy might have even shouted on the bus ride home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
First time for everything.
There would be moths and spiders and cobwebs flying out of that wallet.
Exactly.
Cheeky buggers, he's never going to buy you a beer. And yes, Pat, last week we did have a bet on our Whakarewarewa versus Marlins, and you did get 2 from 2, so I am a man of my word. You can have your 2 cans of Coke.
Thank you very much.
Shaking up there, mate, but yeah, get that all over your nice vest there. But no, congratulations. From now on, though, we will be playing for the Bay Rugby Boil-Up Trophy. So this is the trophy that we've got so far. So you'll see I'm 1 there, and Pat's got 1, and Tim, you get to get your name on the trophy. So
I'll join the party, but
we'll see.
I want to see some decent bets.
Well, we've got a pretty good game that we're going to put that on the line. For this week. So
absolutely.
We'll get to that in a moment. Okay, well, we got some highlights of the development game that we covered on the weekend.
Yep, again, just a very, very slick Marlins team here. If you look at Forbes and the handoff, he does this twice actually throughout the course of the game. I think he actually picks on the same winger. Just too quick, too strong, pushes his way around them. So yeah, that was Forbes. He was player of the day, I think, for the Marlins development. Yep,
and he was wearing the number 10 jersey, but playing at fullback, and that worked well for them with those 2 interchanging.
Yeah, they had Reichert and Forbes there interchanging between 15 and 10, and here's that second one. Looks a bit of deja vu, really, doesn't it, when he just puts them on the outside like that one there. But he was sharp all day, Forbes. This, I think you'll find, watch it here. Look at the hair of Takwin Pinga. And he'll get his hands on the ball here and just manages to get all around everyone. He's quick, that guy.
Oh, look at the locks flowing in the wind.
He played in Greaton when we were calling the game in Greaton, and he scored a 100-metre runaway try. And that hair was just beautiful, blowing in the background. Here it goes again.
Who's fanboy this week?
Inside Brendan Pickerel, former international test referee there in the number 20 jersey, just dropping some names.
You know, Tarquin Pinker was great there, and as I say, player of the day effort from him.
Yeah. Curry, Forbes, Lynn, Falcon, Davies and Reinstad. The try scorers, Reinstad 5 from 6. Good day off the tee. Right, let's head down to Baywide Colts. Oh, sorry, first the table. Yeah, there's Gappy's team way out in front, 7 from 7.
You're right, there's the Tauranga Sports is way out in front, but if you ever look down here, 22, 21, 21 and 19 for the next 4 teams. And even there, Te Puna is a game in hand. So that is absolutely anybody's competition at the moment. Tauranga have pretty much put one hand on the final, but anybody could meet them there.
Well, interesting, eh? 4 doesn't go into 3. So somebody's going to miss out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the way that table shape out would be anyone.
Yeah, this is Colts.
This is Colts. This is the only blemish on my tipping chart last week. Tauranga Sports too strong over the Marlins, 12-10. Bushy will be very upset about that.
Is that the Marlins' first loss in the Colts, I think?
No, I think might have had...
We'll check the table.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the table. Te Puke just getting the win, 22-15 over Taupō down in Owen Delaney.
It's in Te Puke. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, that one there, I didn't pick that Taupō would be that close, which is awesome for Taupō. I thought that's a great result for them. Bottom of the table and only going down by 1 converted try. So, yeah, I thought good effort from the guys from Taupō.
Yeah. And let's take a look at the Colts table now. And you can see Tauranga, Mount Maunganui with Te Puke and Greerton and Taupō coming out the bottom. But even still, those 4 teams, that'll be a good race towards the end because they'll be jostling for the 3rd and 4th spot will be the ones that they'll have to look at.
And the bye is going to play a big part in this too. So if the Mount get up, they've got a game in hand, so they could actually finish in top spot. Same there with Greerton having a game in hand as well, so they could push themselves up into that 3rd, but maybe 2nd spot.
They play each other 3 times in this competition, so they'll all be on a first name basis with everybody.
That's right.
All right, we're heading out and about around the Motu. So Eastern Bay Premier Men, Te Teko too big, too strong over Ruatoki 70-10. Whakatane Maris 59 over TVC 28. And Paro 63-13 over Tane Atua.
There was the Wheke got up on that one, 63-13 over Tane Atua, and that was for the Panewana trophy. So that's a memorial trophy that they played for down there. So awesome that they put that on the line. And then Paro just too strong in that one there. The game that got me though is TVC going down to Whakatane Marist. I think we all picked Whakatane Marist, but not by a score like that. TVC has been red hot this season. And to see them go down by that much was a big surprise to me.
Hats off to John Job, who does a lot of social media work for Pāroa. Really cool. Saw most of Pāroa's tries on their social media pages. So that's the sort of content that we want to see here on Spotlight.
Yeah, absolutely. So send those in. We want to be able to advertise them, put them up there so we can celebrate the games from all over the Bay.
Yeah. Here's the Eastern Bay Premier Men table. Te Teko a long way out in front, 9 from 9. Pāroa, Whakatane Marist, and then a long way back to Ruatoki in 4th place. And then with TVC, Poroporo and Tane Atua rounding out the 7. What do you like about this table, Gags?
Yeah, well, I think Texas is just elite. They are in this competition, they're head and shoulders above the rest. 9 from 9 with 8 bonus points. I mean, you can't ask for too much more than that. But what I like about this particular competition is the close-knit teams. So, you know, you've got teams that have got brothers playing against brothers, cousins playing against cousins every single week. And it's awesome to see.
What I like about this competition is the engagement factor in the games when you see the social media posts of the number of spectators that are at every game. So
just worth pointing out there though, Te Teko and Tane Atua have actually defaulted to Te Teko this weekend, and their results are already updated on the table. So
okay.
That's why they're showing 9 from 9.
9 from 9.
Yeah.
So that's a good point there.
Well spotted, Timothy.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
I knew
study these every week.
Yeah, no, but you're absolutely right.
The professional.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Someone has to be
taken into consideration the defaults that have already been posted on these tables.
All right, Eastern Bay Senior Reserves. Just the 2 games from the weekend. Pāroa winning over Matata 27-14. And nice close game there. Edgecombe 14 over Waimana 13.
Nail biter, eh?
Yeah.
Love those games.
Let's have a look at their table. Edgecombe sitting on top, 7 from 7. Pāroa, Te Teko, Waimana make it the top 4. So the top 2 pretty well entrenched there.
Yep.
With a couple of games, and you're going to talk to us about it.
So they've got a few games to go here. Just to explain how this competition actually works, because there's 3 standalone teams and there's 3 senior reserve teams from Pāroa, Te Teko and Poroporo. So how it'll work at the finals time is that the 2 groups of 3 will break off. And if you're one of the standalone teams, so either Edgecombe, Matata or Waimana, the top qualifier from those 3 goes straight to the final. The other 2 play off for the other final spot. And the exact same happens with the senior reserve teams. Top qualifier will go straight to their final, and the other 2 will play off for the other final spot. So, yeah.
Great to know. Thanks for the upskill in education.
Absolutely.
All right, let's head over to Western Bay. Rangiuru and Huria 34-31. That was our match of the round. So it looks like a cracking game.
Absolutely.
Katikati over Papamoa 53-26. And Rangatawa 20 over Arataki 15. Some good close games in that competition.
Yep. The top game we talked about, Judea coming off 2 wins on the trot. They had big numbers again. They were at home, and obviously, really took it to Rangiuru, who've been going quite well in that comp. Papamoa, just a shout out to one of their players there who was unfortunately injured. Had to be carried away by ambulance, so they actually had to shift the game from the number 1 to the number 2 field to finish off. Have heard that player is okay and back at home, and
that's good news.
That's the main thing, that rugby can carry on. Still, yes, but the main priority is the safety of our players.
Yeah,
good to hear that he's all right.
Look, I just want a little shout out to Roy Rangi, who refereed that Rangiuru Huria game. He's a good man, is Roy, and that's a pretty good effort from him. He also drove the minibus over to FMG on Saturday night for a bunch of referees who got some tickets to the game. So well done, good Roy, stuff. For stepping up and filling in that job. Right, let's have a look at the Western Bay table. Katikati, Rangataua, Rangiuru and Arataki in the top 4. Judy is still in the hunt though. Ours and Papamoa would still be thinking that there's a top 4 place to snatch.
They've only just started the second round, so there's a long way to go.
Yeah, and I see Katikati's only got a couple of home games in the second round, haven't they? So they're going to be travelling a fair bit. It's a great start to the season, but add a bit of travel around it, that could cause a couple of upsets as well.
Yep, that's right.
Rightio, let's have a look at the table. There was no Baywide women's rugby over the weekend, so just having a look at the table. And there's a little bit of anomaly we need to talk about in this one too.
Yeah, same one again with, unfortunately, Rangatawa have defaulted to Nongataha for this weekend. Shame for them both. So Nongataha's showing 1 extra game there than what they've actually played, but they've already been awarded the points for this weekend. So just so it shows on the table.
Real shame that that game wasn't being played, because I know Nongataha have got a big weekend planned, and they were going to have the women as the curtain raiser for the senior men. So shame that they couldn't get that happening, but I'm sure they'll figure something out.
Yep.
And Baywide Championship table, TVC still out on top. Portuki, Tapuna and Arataki make out the top 4, with Te and Greerton rounding out the rest of the table.
So again, unfortunately, Te have already defaulted to TVC, can't make the trip up to the coast. So these teams have only got 2 weeks to go. So this weekend and next weekend is their final round before they move into semis and finals. So.
All right, here's the Central Bay Senior Men's table. And it's a really interesting table. We might talk about this in some depth. Nongataha 8 from 8 with 8 bonus points. Rotoiti, Maris St Michael's and Murupara make out the top 4. With 1 point behind them, Waikite.
This building's got some weird noises.
There's something in the water here. Kahukura still in reach of the top 4 and Reparoa Eastern Pirates round out the 8th.
So this is the bit that I like the look of, the Murupara, Waikato, fourth and fifth sort of area there. When we hear that Waikato have got lots of players coming through, and it could be a good run towards home towards the end of the season. Only the 1 point difference, and they could be in that top 4. So that's it's going to be really, really interesting to watch. But not taking away anything from Murupara. My gosh, they've been sharp this season.
It's
really
the only comp in the Bay. Well, certainly in the men's side of things, that's got even numbers, so no buys. So they needed King's birthday off, otherwise it would have been 16 weeks straight. Yeah. So I'm sure those 8 teams will be fizzing again for this weekend.
You remember the old days, Gargs? We used to play 20 weeks.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we played 52 at one stage, Tim. Well, maybe at your age, Koro.
Pre-season used to start about the second week of January, and rugby used to finish about the third week of December.
No, I think it's important. I mean, it's such a physical game, and we need to be able to give these players a bit of time off. And as you say, King's birthday, just perfect time for those Central Bay guys just to have a wee bit of a breather.
Yep.
And spend some time with the family, do all those bits and pieces, and then get back into it this Saturday.
Fun fact: I was looking at the stats of Naito Arkoi's tackle count from Saturday night.
Yep.
I reckon he made more tackles in one game than I think I used to make in the season. That's how many times we had to tackle back in the day.
Fanboy again.
Oh,
here you go.
Okay, let's. I think we're moment of the week coming up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is Jaya Moore. You'll see him get hands on the ball just after this pass here. Jaya Moore, number 2 for Whakarewharewa, and he just fends off number 12 there. Now, you may or may not know that number 12 is the strength and conditioning coach for the Steamers, and Jaya took great pride and pleasure in standing over top of him and giving him a bit of a laugh as well, pushing off his strength and conditioning coach.
We have to have a chat to Ollie about that technique, mate. Look how high he's going.
There's one fend. Wait for it.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Jai actually scored 2 tries in this game. Really, really sharp game for him. But I think he'll be having bragging rights there when he gets back to Steamers training. He can say, hey, thanks for all the pointers there on my strength and conditioning because I just threw you on the dirt.
Yeah. So moment of the week. Potential partner out there, if you're interested in having your business wrapped up there in the moment of the week. Little shout out, Calvin Hart. Calvin Hart and I don't know each other from a bar of soap, but Calvin's daughter is my daughter's boss, and it'd be pretty cool if we were decked out in Just Jeans would look pretty sharp on us.
We look all right in there.
Yeah. So Gemma, the regional manager, we're looking for a sponsor. It could be the Just Jeans moment of the week.
That's got a bit of a ring to it.
It's got a real ring to it.
Yeah,
I think.
I like that. Yep.
So Gemma, make that happen. And Kevin, if you got any spare tickets to Chiefs games, the 3 of us would love to come and join you.
You're milking this for all you've got. You want a new wardrobe, you want tickets to the Chiefs games.
Well, I just want a discount. I'm happy to pay.
And the Kai as well.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about the Kai. Let's keep moving on. So, Thursday today.
Yes.
Just before. TBC and Rotorua Boys High.
Awesome day over in Tauranga today. Yep. Really, really happy with the result as a proud Raukura ex-player and old boy. I'm really, really happy to see the Rotorua boys get up over TBC. Yeah. Very, very happy with that. So well done Te Ariki and the boys. Proud of you guys.
All right, we move on to a bit of fun part of our show. It's called 10 in the Bin.
Yes, squeezing us all 3 of us in that bin.
Can't believe they fitted me.
Yeah, it's such a cosy, snug bin, isn't it? So this is where we get a question thrown at us from the viewers out there, and then we are going to digest that question and give you our professional answers. So we've not had these questions yet, so
I'm looking forward to this
let's
one.
see what today's question is. Is there too much or not enough whistleblowing from grassroots referees?
Well,
I mean, as a very, very capable referee, in fact, the both of you sitting next to some of the Bay's best referees. Well, I'm sitting next to some referees, right?
Some referees. If we were any good, we wouldn't be sitting here.
Did Gappy send this in? This question?
Well, look, that's a really interesting the question there. I mean, of course, for us, we want to see a free-flowing game. We want to see ball in action as often as we can. and that's right from the little tykes as well. So speaking on the JAB stuff, we'll see a lot of advantage being played and that sort of stuff, because we want these kids to be running around having fun. But then I suppose getting to some older levels, you've got to have your whistle in your mouth more often, I suppose, to make sure that the rules are followed and the game's played in good spirits.
You want the game to flow. You want there to be free-flowing rugby and that sort of thing. And I speak it from both junior through to senior as well. At a junior level, you know, there comes a time as well where they need to actually learn how the game works. You know, one of the things I'm looking at the moment is at under 12s level is just simply hands in the ruck. And there's been some really good well-drilled teams that know that when they can and when they can't have a go, and other teams that just want to have a go every time, and it just wrecks it because you have to keep blowing them off the park, unfortunately. Don't want to do it, but you kind of have to. Senior level, same sort of thing. It's you know, how much they want to have a go and allow the game to flow themselves, and you just be there as the person who picks up what needs to be picked up, or you have to make a whistle festival out of it.
Sometimes we see, especially in the development game, in the development games throughout the course of the weekend, the ball handling may not be as accurate as our premier stuff, and we see a lot of scrums. And that when the whistle's blown and we have to pick down another scrum, and then the ball gets from the scrum and it's passed through the back line and it gets dropped again, whistle blows again and we have to pack down for another scrum. It ruins our game. I know the big boys enjoy it. That's the way they like to earn their lunch, but for us as spectators, we want to see that ball in action as often as possible, eh?
And it's so hard now to find that balance because of everything you see on TV. They pick up every little thing, from the slightest knock-on through to foul play and all that sort of stuff. And so at grassroots level, there's an expectation, and you know, you'll hear it on the side. You missed that, ref. You did this. You know, you can't see everything. But you know, you watch a game from 40 years ago, you'll see, you know, even internationals and that. You'll see 4 or 5 knock-ons, and the referee just lets it play because it's just keeping the game flowing. Can't happen like that these days, unfortunately.
Both of you have raised interesting points, and it's so I'll just try and summarise. So you talked about the multiple knock-ons, and you talked about lots of instances where there might be a lot of hands in the ruck because they're competing in everything. So it's an interesting concept when you think about it. For your argument, in order for there to be less whistle, skill level needs to be better.
Exactly, ball handling needs to be better.
For your argument, in order for there to be less whistle, smarter decisions need to be made.
Or law knowledge.
Or law knowledge, right? And we talk about it all the time during the commentary, that there are instances where ball is carried into contact. The ball carrier has dominated the shoulder, has won the shoulder battle. There's never going to be an opportunity for a jackal turnover, yet players still have a crack.
Yeah, but that's what I think. We need to be teaching that right from your intermediate sort of age, that Ty Mitchell sort of level where the kids are able to, or potentially even younger than that, but we need to make sure that the players know when is the time to contest, when it's time to not. You know, and your 3 options that I coach are have a jackal if that option is on, counter if that option is on, and if it's all closed off, fan out. You know, that's when you start looking at your defensive line.
Well, let me ask you this question then. What are the triggers for when a jackal's on and off? What's the trigger that you're coaching your under 9s?
Yeah.
What's the trigger for your jackler to be given permission to have a crack?
Well, see, that's the thing. So at the junior age, so I'm coaching the under 8s. We don't even look at that. You know, we've got some teams that's set up and a player will get tackled and everyone will stand around in a circle. That's their first year of tackle. So jackal opportunities aren't really taught at that time. But isolation is probably the key.
The trigger.
If you're looking at intermediate sort of level and higher. And we look at that, and we caught a couple of them, you know, on Saturday when a player comes into contact, they're tripped, they fall in, they're off balance, and they fall at the feet of a player. That player is straight away in a better position to just get over that ball and jackal that, and that comes solely from isolation. Same as if you're carrying and you're too quick for the rest of your team, or you get yourself isolated from the rest of your team. That's when the jackal opportunity is on, and players need to know that and get their hands out of it when that opportunity is not there.
And in my mind, if you win the shoulder battle, i.e. you're the tackler and you win the shoulder battle, there's another trigger. Rather than having a crack at the ball, if you win the shoulder battle, you should be taking space and counter-racking, I reckon.
Absolutely.
So there's something. So is there too much or not enough whistle blowing? I don't know whether or not our grassroots referees understand the shoulder battle.
Yeah.
And so you might see some decisions not being made that are wrong. But I don't know. I would say the answer to this question is there's not too much whistle blowing, but there might be some times where the whistle should have been blown and it wasn't, or it was blown when it ought not to have been.
See, I think you summed it up there, is referees are not going to see everything, and they're not going to be able to get absolutely everything. And I think everybody, players, spectators, coaches, everyone needs to realise that and allow for that. You know, that you've got 15 players on each side and a referee in the middle who all want this game to flow nicely and to be a good, constructive battle. But sometimes they need to blow the whistle and sometimes they'll miss things. But that's the sport that we play.
And they're all doing the best they can.
Absolutely, yep.
And to me, I'd say keep your expectations in check. It's not Super Rugby. It's not televised. You don't have replays. You don't have ARs, or most games don't.
No.
You've got one person in the middle doing the absolute best they can with one set of eyes.
Who potentially is on a second gig.
Yeah, or second or third. I mean, I see
Yeah.
a lot of players running around Saturday morning with the youngsters, and then they're out looking after high school stuff.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great guys.
Oh, bonus question.
Bonus questions. Are referee associations doing enough to attract more referees?
Well, I'm going to throw this to you because of the story you told me on the drive over.
Jamie Bell, our referee manager, just gave me some great news this morning. 2 brand new referees right here in Rotorua have signed up just this week.
Brilliant.
Which is awesome. For me, and I call me biased, I personally think that in the Bay of Plenty we are doing everything we possibly can to attract more referees. It's a hard task, but it's some simple messages that we're putting out there about trying to attract the retired players or the ones that might want to still be in the game in some way, shape or form. They might have got injured and can't play anymore, but they could still take up the whistle. It's a great way to actually see and watch a game as well, being involved. I have to say I feel like we are, but it's getting harder and harder to get those people because of the perception that's out there, around things like abuse.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you've got lots of it coming from the sidelines, you're always going to have one team essentially who are upset at you if the losing team.
50% of the people out there are going to disagree with you.
Yeah.
100% of the time.
Yeah, but it was really Jared Lasicki, and you'll remember Jared. So a couple of years ago, Jared was within the Bay and as a referee. Now he's at Harvard University of all places. But he was just a fantastic referee. He talked to the players constantly. He was right into everyone's ear, and it was nice to see a young fella who was obviously a rugby player, but to step out of that playing mode and to grab a whistle and do such a good job of that too. So look, if there's players out there that are thinking, I really want to get into this, then I'd say put your hand up and go and talk to somebody about it.
My response to the question is I follow pretty much every rugby referee association in New Zealand, and I think they're doing a very good job. I want to acknowledge and take my hats off New Zealand rugby in the referee space this year, and I've been very vocal in the quality of the resource coming out of New Zealand rugby being passed down through the referee managers and REOs into the referee associations has been absolutely first class this year. I've written an email to Nara and New Zealand Rugby. The resource, it's a really good consistent message. We here in the Bay of Plenty, we only come together once a month as a total collective, but the 3 sub-unions meet weekly or fortnightly. But I can tell you now, the PowerPoint presentations that we've just been through over the last month of May were all related to scrum formation, broken down into tactical, technical, and then management. But we were all singing off the same song sheet.
Well, you mentioned that you get together. So all of the JAB coaches or each team had to put forward a referee who'd be
the associate referees course.
And they sat there and did the associate referees course. And so that was really promoting it within the junior game. So awesome to see.
Yeah.
So is that 2 questions or is that 1? Is that 10 in the bin or is that a 20-minute red card maybe?
Or 15 minutes?
Yeah.
20-minute red card.
20-minute red card, I think 2 questions.
Great questions though, so thanks for sending that question in.
Yep.
If you've got burning questions and you want the professionals to respond, these 3 little piglets in the rubbish bin here.
I just feel sorry for these wheels.
Thanks for calling me little.
He called you a piglet too, man. choose what to hear.
I just heard little.
Send your questions to info@localgecko.co.nz, or you can message us on our usual channels. We're on all social media. There's a couple there that I don't even use. What's the Tok one?
Yeah. Now you're showing your age really good. Still sitting there with dial-up.
And if you know the sound of dial-up, then you are just as old as me. But yeah, send your questions in. They're a complete surprise to us.
Yeah.
We have no idea what they are until they appear on the screen. So get them in and let's go hard for 10 minutes.
Of course.
And sign up to be a referee.
Oh, yeah. All right, club legend of the week.
Yes, it's a lovely time that we get to celebrate some of those people that don't like to be celebrated, and it's nice to acknowledge those people.
It was actually cool after last week. Had a couple of responses as well. Noy was over the moon. She was so delighted.
That's not what she wrote in her text message to me. I can't repeat the word she called me in her text.
But I genuinely had a couple of comments from people to say, hey, I'm going to send you something about that, which is great.
And then that's what we want, right?
And I'm lucky enough to get one today. So I'll read it out to you because I don't want to miss anything, because this lady is an absolute superstar.
Yep.
And I don't want to miss any of her acknowledgements.
Down the barrel, mate.
Yep. So this week's rugby legend takes us to a club that's built on hard work, whānau and community spirit. If you have anything to do with Rotoiti Sports Club, you can know that I'm talking about Tammy Gardner. Every club has players, every club has coaches, but the really successful clubs have those people behind the scenes who make everything happen. The people who don't necessarily get the headlines, but without them the place just wouldn't function like it does. And Tammy Gardner is one of those people. Tammy is the daughter of Bruno Gardner, another well-known and respected figure in the club's history, and it's fair to say that the commitment to the community is carried on through those generations. Over the last 5 or 6 years, Tammy and her husband Roger have been at the heart of helping turn the club around. They're working they do everything from fixing leaks and upgrading facilities through to sorting heating systems, improving amenities, and helping to create an environment people are proud of. Rotoiti has always been a club built on whānau connections. They've got some huge names there, of course, woven in that history. The Hohepa whānau, the Whata whānau, the Curtis whānau, and of course the founding whānau, the Emerys. It's that sense of whakapapa and connection and community that makes clubs like Rotoiti so special. So Tammy's work continues to build on those foundations. But what really stands out is the sheer number of hats that Tammy wears. She's the club chair. She's involved with rugby operations. She manages social media. She's helping secure funding and sponsorship. She's supporting events and consistently looking for ways to make the club better for everyone who walks through those gates. What I love about this story is her focus always seems to be on the kids. So the recent addition of the playground and the basketball court out that way wasn't just another project, it was a part of a bigger vision, creating a place where whānau want to spend time, where children come and have fun, and where the club becomes more than just somewhere you go on game day. Outside of rugby, Tammy has also had a significant career in education and leadership. She's worked as a teacher, held senior leadership positions, been an acting principal, and she's worked at Te Whare o Wānanga or Waikato. So a lot of stuff in education there. Pretty impressive workload on its own. Yet despite those responsibilities, she still finds time and the energy to help guide her club forward. And that's what I think makes her deserve this recognition. It's not about one big moment. It's not about one season or one project. It's about years and years of showing up and giving back, years of putting the community before yourself. The best clubs in New Zealand are built on people exactly like Tammy Gardner, people who don't do it for recognition, but they do it because they genuinely care about their people and their place. So from all of us from the podcast here, we want to acknowledge you, Tammy, a leader, a community builder, and a champion for her whānau and her club. Tammy, you are this week's Legend of the Week.
Congratulations,
Awesome.
Tammy. I had the pleasure of working with her when I sat in the community chair. It was an awesome club to work with, and Tammy was a big part of that organisation back then.
Yep.
So great to see her name appearing in this Legend of the Week segment.
And
Well deserved.
Yeah, I won't say that Reece Hoipa was the one that sent me that information, because I know Tammy would be grumpy at him and probably give him a clip around the ear. So
it wasn't Reece.
Wasn't Reece. So, well, it was Reece, but I won't say that to Tammy.
Anyway, moving right along. Well done, Tammy. We are going to... before we do move along, please, if you are one of those people who knows a legend in your club, then get out onto the keyboard, send your nominations in on our social media messaging, Facebook, Instagram, and that other one. Or email us info@localgecko. Local Gecko TV.
email us on that email address.
Yeah, that email address there. info@localgecko.co.nz, and we'll throw it in the mix.
So Noi Almaga, you said you were going to nominate someone. Also Matt Simons from Tauranga Sports, you said you were going to as well. I look forward to seeing them come through.
All right. But let's move on to our upcoming fixtures for this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend coming up. So we've got a whole bunch of Western Bay plenty. Just before we rip into these, we actually got another one. There's a Golden Oldies match. So that is the Papamoa Potbellies versus the Te Puke Mutineers. And that's at Te Puke, and it's going to be under lights too. That's a Friday night. So kick-off at 7:30 and in the bar at 7:31.
Watch out.
Yeah. Okay,
Who's
Western
refereeing
Bay.
that game?
I don't know if they need a ref.
No.
Rangiru are hosting Eastern Districts, Papamoa hosting Arataki, and Katikati hosting Huria. 3 good games. The Right Honourable Tom Rutherford gets another gig. I told you he enjoyed his run
he
last
must have loved
night.
it, eh?
Yeah.
So Rangatoa with the bye this week, but for me, I reckon probably that game would the match of the round for me, probably the Papamoa game against Arataki, the local clash.
The local clash.
They're only a couple of k's apart, so
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Central Bay Premier Men this weekend. Nongata hosting Marissa Michaels, Roto Iti, Raparoa, Waikato host Eastern Pirates, and Murupara are hosting Kahukura.
So for me, the biggest game of this comp this weekend is that top one there, the Nongata versus Marist St. Michael's. And I don't just say that as a Marist boy.
I was going to say, there's a shock.
No. That's massive. So for a few reasons. So obviously the Ty Mitchell Shield is up for grabs at that game. So that's going to be a big event in itself. There's another trophy that they play for, the Steve Smith Trophy. Steve was a top man and passed away a little while ago. Played for both clubs, very, very strong supporter of both clubs there. So that's the Steve Smith Trophy that's up for grabs there. But there's also 2 young fellas that have got their Blazer game for Nongata that night too. So they're playing their 50th game. The interesting thing about that is the 2 guys have played in the same footy team for the last 15 years. Going through JRB, going through high school together.
That's such a cool
They've
story.
left high school and they've gone to Nongata and they've stayed there together. And it just happens to be that how this happens, but they have both landed on 50 games on exactly the same weekend. So that's Raimoni Apo and Boston Tuakaraina. So congratulations, boys, on your 50 games and sticking it together like that. A couple of mates, it's pretty cool to see.
Well, I'm tipping Nongataha.
Is there a trophy on
Let's
the
put
line?
the trophy on the
The
line.
trophy is up for grabs because my Marist boys, they're not letting go of the Ty Mitchell nor the Steve Smith trophy. They both mean too much to Marist. So, it'll be a big day at Nongata, but the boys will be singing their song. The Marist boys will be singing their songs in the shed after the game. Dills, please make sure that happens. Shawnee Waikato boys, Kimmy, make sure that happens, please. I want to see a video of that song straight after the game.
And referee Josh Baker. Josh, you know what to do.
Wow.
Referee,
right.
fair, down the middle.
Yeah. Hey, and this one here, dude, just want to point out that Eastern Pirates Waikato, that's going to be another really, really good game. But the cool thing about it is they've both got B's teams that are playing. So they've both managed to string together another 15 guys to chuck on the field to have a curtain raiser. So, yeah, really cool for those 2 clubs.
Do we know about that with the referee?
No.
I might have just dropped the minute, but it'd be cool to see that too. If you guys could just organise a ref for them, that'd be great.
Oh, God. Okay, let's keep moving along. We head out to Eastern Bay for the senior reserve matchups. Pāroa hosting Edgecombe, Waimana hosting Poroporo, and Matata hosting Te Teko.
Don't talk about that ref.
Oh no, go back.
What? Go.
Look at that.
Oi!
Check that out. Matata Te Teko.
Tim
Famous,
Smith, you're making your debut in the senior men's space this year.
Are the Eastern Bay plenty senior reserves only 10 minutes each way? Because how long have you got 80 minutes in you?
You got 80 minutes in
Go
you,
on,
brother.
let me have it. Go on.
You got 80 minutes.
I shouldn't
It was a
tease
need
the
and I've
referees.
made myself available.
Yeah,
I've
awesome.
told them, look, just be very low on your expectations and you'll get a fair game.
Yeah, no, that'll be good.
But I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I've never actually been to the Matata Club, so going out there and
They'll look after you.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
They
they'll
will.
look after you.
I am. Can't wait.
Good on you, man.
I'll be stuffed. That's why I probably won't be here next week. You watch.
Yeah, well,
But,
Matata, can you please make sure that you look after him and maybe buy him a couple of beers?
Yeah, and from an experienced referee, my piece of advice: you only have to get to the breakdowns where there's a contest.
You can stand back.
You can stay in
on
the middle of
halfway,
the
you
field
reckon?
for the ones on the edges. Because
There is that new law about running too far, eh?
yeah. So we only have to run.
That's the Potbellies versus BWS game. That one, yeah.
We only have to run up and down the goalpost line. Okay, Eastern Bay Prem Men's. TVC hosting Poroporo. Pāroa hosting Whakatane Maris. That's my match of the week. And Te Teko have won by default. Sean Moore's got the big game out there.
Yeah, I'm tipping the Wheke on that one, just because of they're at home.
Yeah.
Whakatane Marist is really proving to be a strong team, but Pāroa at home, tough to beat.
And I see Russell Condor Marine taking the trip out the East
Yeah, I
Coast.
bet he's going fishing too.
Yeah, he's probably going out. He might have some engines to fix while he's out there. So, Russell, enjoy the drive out to the glorious Hicks Bay. Rightio, where are we going now? Oh, we got our Colts
Colts
competition. Marlins are at home to Taupo and Greerton Tauranga Sports. What's happening with the Greerton Colts team this year?
Look, I'll be honest and say I haven't really been following them as hard as I used to. Look, they've got some good, long-established players, but I think they've been hit by a few injuries. They even had Coach Simon have to jump on for their last couple of games. So
Sam Fallows, Premier Referee,
Yeah.
refereeing that game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Ian Wedderburn's not refereeing a Colts game.
no, I wouldn't put it. It'd be no worse than me.
I'd say his name was sitting in that space as a placeholder for somebody else.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, for me, Marlins will be too tough for Taupo, especially at Blake Park. I think, they're looking sharp there. But this one will be interesting. I'm tipping Tauranga purely because of the way that the whole club's been running over the last little while. But Greerton at home is always good, and then they'll pack that big deck up the top of Greerton Park.
Yeah, they've got a big night at Greerton. I'll talk about that in a minute.
I've seen my invite to head out to karaoke, so
yes.
I'll be stopping in at Greerton on my way home. There's always a nice cold
I've
beer with
got to
Russell.
challenge a few colleagues around getting along to the Greerton karaoke night on Saturday.
Okay. All right, Baiwa Championship Women. Apōtiki are hosting Arataki. Tapuna are hosting Greerton Marist, and TVC have already won that game by default.
Well, I was just about to say I'm tipping TVC to beat the Pirates. See, that's how good I am that they already have. So another game by default there.
Those other two games will be good matchups.
Yeah,
I think Apōtiki will be too strong, and I think Tapuna will be too strong.
Unfortunately, I think they will, but unfortunately for Greerton, I should say.
In the Premiership Women, match of the round on Sunday, Marlins are hosting Poroporo in the coverage game. Good to see Tiana Anderson back on the field last week. Had a bout of an illness, and of course she was running around in the World Series. So great to see Tiana getting back. She did a men's development game last week. Premier Women's this week. Fingers crossed Premier Men's the week after.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that one's going to be televised here on Local Gecko TV.
Yep,
So,
doing it on my own because
yeah.
somebody can only do one game a week.
Oh, I might turn up. We'll see.
Wee.
But yeah, that means you'll be commentating your Sophie Fisher game. Is that right?
Yeah.
You'll be talking about her some more.
I get to talk about my favourite player.
Have you got her
Kaya
autograph
Paku.
yet or what?
It's hard to get an autograph from here, but
Well, there you go, Sophie. If you can send something through to Pat, maybe a little signed photo or something like that, I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm sure my wife would appreciate that autograph photo from a female rugby player. They go down like a lead balloon. All right, let's head to Baywide Development Men. Te Puke hosting the Marlins. Te Puna's hosting Tauranga Sports. Greta Marist are hosting Opotiki. Three good games in that development space.
Yep. It'll be Battle of the High Seas there, the Pirates versus Marlins at the Pirate Ship. They want to be televised here, Local Gecko TV. So if you haven't, get your subscriptions through Local Gecko TV. Get onto the YouTube's page and onto the social media and do those there so you can see those games live.
And then, of course, the Premier matches are the same teams. Who are we tipping?
So this one I'm going to go Marlins, Tauranga and Greaton just because they're at home.
I'm not sure. I think the Pirates might want to bounce back against the Marlins there, especially out at home, because they've only got 2 home games this round.
God, they got well and truly dusted last week by Greaton, didn't they?
Te Puna playing at home against Tauranga Sports, they're never going to make it easy for anyone, so that game will be closer than what people might think. Of course I'm going to go for Greta Marist. But yeah, just want to challenge Jamie Bell here to make sure that he's up on the stage after his referee speech. First up for the karaoke night. The rest of the community team and the HP team get along there and get into it. And I'll look forward to the videos afterwards because I'll still be down in Maratā recovering.
recovering in the bar. So
I know that Te Puke have got a lot of injuries. A few players are actually away. One's in France, of all places. But yeah, a lot of injuries in that Te Puke team at the moment. So yeah, that's why I'm leaning towards the Marlins. Week off for Walker as well.
Yep.
Red Black's got a week off.
Yep. And Gugs, you and I teaming up.
Yep, we'll do this one. So last time they met, the Mount won 35-24. So I know Te Puke.
You called that game too, didn't you?
Yeah. That was a really good one.
It was a hell of a game. I remember that one.
Yeah. I just want to point out DDL Goodrick Contracting and their support again. We couldn't do all of this stuff without them and getting all the quality coverage to you guys every Saturday and every Sunday without the support of DDL Goodrick Contracting. So thanks, guys.
Well, I think we might be done, lads. Pretty much brings us to the end of the show.
Well, it does.
It's time flies when you're having fun.
Get some of those videos in for Spotlight.
Yeah,
Yes,
so that's the thing. Next week we are going to have a huge big montage of all the Spotlight clips. So your last chance to get those in, and we'll add yours to the mix there as well. So all the JAB stuff, all of the high school stuff, any club rugby stuff that we haven't seen or televised here, please flick it through to us, and we'll get that up on the screen for you guys.
And you're not here next week, Tim?
No.
You'll still be recovering from your game this weekend.
Could be in hospital. Who knows?
Depends how many beers Maratā puts on the bar for him, mate.
No, just double booked. But I do want to say just something that happened on the weekend that reminded me of a group of people we need to say thank you to. Greta Marist ran out in pink socks last week as a tribute to their partners, their wives and girlfriends and that sort of thing. Really cool little thing. So it goes without saying really, but I guess hats off to all the wives, partners, mums, and dads, and all of that, who do all the stuff in the background to get all of our players out there every week. So thanks to them.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, good call.
Good call. And hey, if you want to come and join Gugs and I on the couch next week, send us your 23-page CV, your $250 application fee, and you can come and sit on the couch with us.
Or better yet, just be here.
Yeah.
We take anyone.
Bring my feed and you're in. Yeah, well, they took me.
Yeah. Say no more.
Fats. Who else have we had?
Oh, yeah, Fats would be great to have in here.
Fats, you'd be great. Come and join us.
Hodgie would be good from Marist. He'd be really good too. Yeah.
Who else? Anyone else we can name drop?
Well, Jai Moore. I mean, if we're going to give him all that credit up there, he can come and sit on the couch. Yeah.
We should have a podcast.
Sophie Fisher. Oh, Sophie Fisher. Sophie, if you're free, come and sit on the couch.
Come and sit on
Come and
sit on the couch.
Oh, Jeez.
Yes.
Oh, we could just talk rugby.
Yeah. Well, look, anybody other than Mike
These
Miller,
guys couldn't clip
just-
it to our podcast. Jeez. You never get through it. I was going to say, let's do a crossover, a challenge to the referees. Jamie Bell or
Oh, we get
Sam
the
Fellows.
the referees podcast
They've
on
got
the
their
show.
own podcast. I
That'll be
don't think anyone's actually heard of it, but they could come and see what a real podcast looks like.
Exactly.
And then someone go on their one.
Ooh.
Jamie, love your work.
Love your work. All right, Gags, thanks very
so
much.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Again, Pat, have another enjoyable week. Before we wrap up, just want to acknowledge DDL Goodrick Contracting, who are proud to support the Bay Rugby Boil-Up, local Gecko Productions, and the communities that make Bay of Plenty Rugby special. They're based here in Rotorua. They combine more than 35 years of industry experience with a really skilled team of over 50 local staff, and they want to deliver complex infrastructure projects, and they'll do it with certainty. So, DDL Goodrick Contracting, thank you very much, you guys.
Thank you very much,
Cheers,
DDL
guys.
Goodrich. Good night, Gags. Good night, Tim.
Thanks, team.
That's a
I'll
wrap.
say karakia, and then we'll close the sheet. Kia tau, kia tātou katoa, te ata whai o tō tātou ariki, a ihu karaiti, me te aroha o te atua, me te whiwhinga tahitanga ki te wairua tapu, a ke ake, āmine.
Āmine.
The hora mai, people, take care. We'll see you all again next week. All right.
Socks in. Right.
We got the, what's that thing?
Got the clapper.
Have you got the clap?
We're on Rotorua.
We're back to bloopers.